Will Hunter make his comeback? Will one of the up-and-comers continue to rise? And who will claim their spot to the Hyrox World Championship Elite Race? Hey, what is happening, people? I'm Woodsy and this is my channel, Woodsy Workout, where I give out coaching tips on all things Hyrox and hybrid fitness. I've done videos on technique, training methods and race strategy. So if that's what you're looking for, then subscribe to stay up to date. Today we're going to do a quick preview of the starting lineup for the Hyrox Vegas Major that starts tonight. In the interest of keeping this short, I won't be talking about everyone that's racing, but as always, I say it's a huge achievement getting into a major at this level. And I mean no disrespect if I don't mention certain athletes. I know the fan bases are getting pretty strong now, so give them a shout out to your favourite athletes in the comments. This is just my opinion and from looking at previous races and what I know. So here's the lineup from the men's side. Few things to note: Alex Ronkovic won't be racing. He did say he would only keep racing the majors if he kept a winning streak going. And actually he did finish at his lowest place in the Hong Kong major. And of course he's already qualified, so it's understandable for him to take this one off. Graham Halliday also not racing. He's got his ticket to Worlds. New names that are in the mix: Sean Noble will be racing in his first major. A young lad from Ireland has been throwing down some very fast times all around Europe. Although faced with some controversy around a disqualification for cheating on his lunges, he has since submitted a 55-minute race in Dublin and a 57-minute race in Frankfurt. Question is, with all eyes on him, how will he hold up against the big dogs? And speaking of big dogs, it's about time that we addressed the biggest name in Hyrox. Hunter McIntyre will be competing in his first major this season. The three-time world champion and Hyrox world record holder surprised some of us with a 5th place finish at the World Championships in June. Since then, he's been on a rebuild and he's made it very clear that he wants to come back and get back to that top spot. He won a regular season race in Anaheim with a very respectable 56-minute effort, but this will be his first look since June at how he stacks up with some decent competition. In particular, the likes of James Kelly. JK has been on an absolute tear since last season. He finished 3rd at World Championships, 2nd in the Amsterdam Major and 1st in the Hong Kong Major. As well as a couple of regular season wins, he has the 2nd fastest ever Hyrox time and the fastest time in the last 100 days. So, whatever he's doing, it's working. The question is, can he keep doing it? JK is a bit of a gamesman when it comes to racing. Look for him to make surges, particularly around the rock zones. And he has already secured his spot for Worlds, so we may see him try and play the field a little bit. Then we've got Tim. Tim Vienisch has also been rounding back into form after missing out on the last 2 World Championships due to injury. He finished 5th in Amsterdam and then 2nd by just 6 seconds in Hong Kong. So we know he is capable of hanging with James Kelly, and we may see a bit of a back and forth there. Then you've got Peleo Fernandez and Dylan Scott. 2 very strong contenders. Peleo punched his ticket to Worlds with a 4th place finish in Hong Kong, and Dylan Scott has had some ups and downs, but he does tend to perform well in America. Another contender that has had some ups and downs is Rich Ryan. Rich missed out on World Championships in 2023. Then he finished 3rd in the DC Major in 24. But after a 13th place finish at World Championships in Nice, most were kind of ready to count him out until he threw down a 54-minute time in a regular season race in Chicago. Now, we know times can be misleading in Hyrox, but it has definitely put him in the conversation. So my predictions for the men: I think we might see a strong showing from the Americans on home turf. I'm going to say Hunter in first, although I think it will be much closer than it has been before with his wins. JK in second, and then I think the reasonable pick would be to go for Tim. but I'm going to chance it, and I can't help but root for Rich Ryan. I know he's hungry for that world spot, and it might just give him the edge over Tim, but it will be tough against that sort of middle pack of competition. Now, for the women. Before we get to that, I am super excited to announce my brand new book, the Hyrox Handbook. This book condenses everything that I've learned in the last 4 years, both coaching clients and racing myself as well, and taking the best bits from all of my videos I've done and putting it into a helpful handbook that will be easy for beginners to grasp and for veterans to refer back to for tips and tricks on all things Hyrox. We are talking training, race strategy, running, lifting, what to pack, what to wear. It's all there, and it's available for digital download on my website, coactiveperformance.com. Now back to the video. So here's the women's lineup. Again, no Meg Jacobi. We've since found out the reason she didn't race in Hong Kong was due to a back injury, which she has had surgery on, so she's still recovering from that. And we wish her a speedy recovery because we all love seeing her race, and I look forward to hearing her on the broadcast tonight. Which leaves a bit of a rematch of the Hong Kong major. We've got 10 of the same athletes competing. I'm very interested to see Lauren Weeks and Joanna Wettrick compete again. It's the vet versus the rookie. Lauren Weeks, 3-time world champion, won the first matchup in Amsterdam earlier this season. And then Joanna, in her first season of racing, won the Hong Kong major. Joanna is a very fast runner, and what's so alarming is just how new she is to the sport and how quickly she's progressing as she gets better at the stations. Lauren Weeks, very well practiced, efficient throughout. She's won races from the jump, she's won races from comebacks and coming from behind, so you can never count her out. Kate Davey is also on a steady progression since her very first 2 elite races in 2023, where she finished 11th. She has literally got better with every elite race since, and finally cracked the podium with a 3rd place finish in Hong Kong. So let's see if she can keep that streak going. And then another interesting athlete to watch is Lauren Griffith. Griffith likes to play the pain game of coming out fast and then trying to hold on. She finished 5th in her last 2 majors. It's also worth mentioning that Lauren Weeks, Kate Davey, Lauren Griffith, as well as Jade Skillen, Zara Perigiani and Vivian Tafuto are all part of the Hybrid Engine team led by coach Anthony Pericini. So his team have been doing very well in the sport recently, both on the men's and women's side. But we cannot forget the Germans, Seika Arning, Linda Meyer and Viola Oberlander. None of them have secured their spot for Worlds yet. Viola and Linda have very strong resumes in the sport. They performed well at Worlds, but didn't perform too well in the last race. So let's see if they can come back into form because we know that their potential is very high. So what are my predictions for the women? Well, the last major, I thought Lauren Weeks was a safe bet. And then Joanna reminded me that nothing is a sure thing. But I think I've still got to go for Lauren, as she's got the home court advantage. She used to live in Vegas. She's been known to sort of take a hit and then come back and dominate before. So I'll take Lauren for first, Joanna for second, and then I'm going to back Team GB and go Kate Davey for third. Those are just my takes. As we know, anything can happen. These races are getting closer and I'm excited to see how it plays out. Drop your thoughts below. If you've got a Hyrox race coming up, then best of luck. And remember, you can get your hands on the Hyrox Handbook. Today is the last day of the January sale, as well as Hyrox training plans are all on my website, coactiveperformance.com. And you can follow me on Instagram at Woodsy Workout for plenty more tips and tricks on all things health and fitness. Until next time, peace.